Okay, we should be streaming now.
Yep, should be live.
Okay. Huh. Oh. I clicked admit and it took a moment for it to reach on the other screen. So I want to talk to my Kentucky people. So can you turn that music down? Hi, Amy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How's my favorite young fan? Is she there today? Ophelia?
She is. She's coming. He's talking to you. Come here. Hurry. Set your iPad down. Come here.
It's no big
Here,
deal.
you can. Here, say hi.
Hi, Ophelia. Hello, welcome. If you're around later, I'll try to play that Psycho song for you because I know your
All right.
parents like that one. That's a favorite of theirs. And you guys are all well, I trust.
Yeah. We've had pretty weather and we live on a farm, so we've been really busy.
I'm glad to hear that. Good. You know, I'm planning to be in Kentucky in September, although I just got a note from the festival, the Cave Run Festival, saying that they're not sure because they're on federal land whether they can have a crowd like they're used to. But we'll have to see how that plays out. But if it does play out, well, maybe we'll be able to sit down, all of us, face to face.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we're really hoping they're able to have it. I love the Storytelling Festival. It'd be so awesome to see you in person.
I know, right. I can't get away with my good lighting there. You'll get to see what I really look like. So I'm happy to play that song for your daughter. Is there anything you'd like to hear, or I'm just want to, show my appreciation for you guys coming and all that. So.
Oh, thanks. What's that one you like? I'm really
one drop.
Yeah, one drop.
Oh, all right. There you go.
Yeah. We're really bad with titles, but we know all the words.
I'll try to remember that so we'll do that one later, okay? One little drop. I probably ought to practice.
Well, I just got back from the Tucson Festival, and they set it up really nicely. They set it up in a parking lot of a mall, and it was all done with like a drive-in, and they had the stage and the two screens that you could see the people, and they had every other parking lot you could park in, or parking space, and then the space to the right of the passenger is where you got to set up your chairs.
That's so funny that you would say that because I'm doing a show exactly like that in New Hampshire, July 2nd, and that's what it is. It's like a drive-in, and you can sit on the driver's side, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the world is opening up a little bit anyway, so I'm pretty excited about that. So
I got to sit there from 11:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, seeing new performers every half hour.
that's wonderful. And if it got hot or cold, you could go in your car, right? Nice.
Yeah, it worked out really nice.
Yeah, there's the place here called Tupelo. They started doing that last year, and then it's a real viable way to do it for people like me who don't feel safe quite yet, So it's a really safe way to do it. All right, I'm gonna go get ready to come back and be entertaining. But thank you for coming. Hello, Tommy and Marlene. Nice to see you, and Tim and Shanna. Hi, everybody. And so Kentucky, Nebraska.
Chicago.
What's that?
I'm from Chicago.
All right, so I got a song for you too. Oh, you want me to do Taj Mahal, right?
Taj Mahal my ass.
Taj Mahal, my ass. I'm gonna drag that out tonight too. That one hasn't seen the light of day in 20 years, boys and girls. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you, everybody.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. We will get the show started at about 5 after 7. To everyone watching on Facebook or YouTube, consider sharing the concert on Facebook. It's a small way to show appreciation and the best way to grow our little community. A reminder that, as always, Don's live stream is free to all, but if you would like to make a donation, there is information in all of the chats to do so. Thank you for your patience, and we will see you shortly.
Hello and welcome. Hello, Thursday. Here we are from the undisclosed location, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you. And let me look at who's here. Jen, hello, my darling from Michigan. Be careful out there. Stay inside your house. Don't let anybody breathe on you in that state. That's my advice to you. Shannon and Tim from New Mexico. Sarah from California. We've got Illinois in the house. Kentucky. So glad to see you. Those of you watching on other platforms, Facebook over there, hello. Please share this if you can.
We got the camera up.
Say again. All right. So in Facebook over here, that's good. So tonight we're going to have an after party with a bunch of friends, as we always do. Just so you know ahead of time. One person I haven't seen in 20 years. His name is John Smith. You're gonna love him. Al Has is going to be here too, and somebody who hasn't done a lot of performing online, but is a real tremendous talent. His name is John Forster from New York City, and we have a lovely poet, Cheryl Perrault, coming today too. So if you're in a quiet place, unmute yourself so that I can hear you, but if you're going to be chatting or doing the dishes or whatever, we'll monitor you. But here, let me just play something to get us started here. Sarah, nice to see you, that you're here. Woo! Woo! I got a job washing dishes when I was 16. It was the scariest time of my life for me. Had a future that used to just torture me with questions like, who are you going to be? Will your life have meaning? Will your mind be strong? Will you be a man people can depend on? Will you always be frightened? Will you ever be brave? Will you still be washing dishes when you're old and gray? Just like today. Big Trouble used to love to sneak up on me. He'd say boo, and I'd jump 5 feet. He would threaten big weather, big wind, and big rain. That's all it would take to blow me away. 20 years later, my doorbell rings. It's old man trouble asking for me. My woman is crying and my kids are too, 'cause they know what old man trouble can do. I should be shaking, should be scared, but looking at him just makes me mad. Hey mama, come over, come look, come see what 20 long years have done for me. Your frightened little twig turned out to be the oak in the middle of his family. And big trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Big trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. When trouble comes here, all trouble can seize. My limbs are strong and my roots are deep. I'm planted in the middle of this family, and I keep my weeping willows close to me. I surround my branches around me now. Just trust me, hold on strong. But when the big storm comes with the wind and the rain, this oak will not be blown away anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Big trouble just walked through my front door. Mama, I'm just not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not scared anymore. When the big storm comes and the bad winds blow, Mama, I'm just not scared anymore.
Woo! All right, Don.
Thank you. Let's stay in that same key here. There's a lot of pollen where I live now, and I get some pollen stuck right there. I feel like if during the show I just reach in there and grab it, that won't be too gross, will it? No. My dad said, son, if you keep going on this way, you got a bad report card. You're gonna wind up as a lumper on a cruise someday. I said, Dad, what's a lumper? He was laughing so hard, rolling on the floor. Dad, no one uses words like lumper anymore. The guys are outside, it's Friday night. I gotta go, see you later, and thanks for the lecture. If you keep doing the things that you are doing, if the things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the second chance crew. Me, Billy Bob, Rick and Ray, they were my drinking buddies and living for the party every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Don't forget Sunday, one by one they moved away from home. You know the time went by, the next thing that I know, I'm 31, I'm drinking with a bunch of 19-year-olds. What a loser. Man, what a loser if you keep doing the things that you are doing. If all the things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper down on the second chance crew. Second chance people got a touch of gray. Party their teens and their 20s away, but now they're sober, starting over, and they're 32. They're just so glad to be working on the second chance crew. Come on, lumper. Those pallets aren't gonna move themselves, that's right. I wound up in the program, I know that's no surprise. I'm an alcoholic, I make the minimum wage, at least I didn't die. I should have bought the farm. My knees are aching and my back is sore. I've been dragging these ladders across the plywood floor. Dad, I never wonder what a lumper is anymore. 'Cause I'm a lumper, he said, if you keep doing the things that you're doing, if all these things that you are doing don't do you in, they can always use another lumper on the second chance crew. Smoke it, drink it, puff it up your nose, while your education goes up in smoke. And when you're in your 30s and the party is through, we're saving you a seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. A seat at the meeting is a seat at the meeting. A seat at the meeting, it's a seat at the meeting. A seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew. That's what's waiting for you. A seat at the meeting and a job lumping on the crew.
Woo! All right, Don. Woo!
So nice to see you all. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the support through the years. I want to talk about somebody named Leroy White. Sarah, did you know Leroy from the festivals?
Yes, I do. Yes.
So Leroy is still alive, but he's not a lot alive. Like his family is letting people know he's not going to be around much longer. I'm not sure if you knew that, if anybody knew that, but I love that guy. I mean, of all the people I've met in my life, and he was a pretty close friend to me, is a pretty close friend to me. I never met anybody that devoted more time consistently putting positive energy into the world. Like he just woke up and did it all day and all night, every day. And so I'm gonna play this song here for his family. You know, he's got if you go to his Facebook page, Leroy White, people are telling them how they feel about him, which I think is lovely actually, because he's it's not happening after he's gone. He can read it. You know, I assume. I don't know how. You know if he's medicated or what the deal is, but it's happening now. And I want to say something. I have a lot to say, but I always find that language is so weak in these moments. Like, when you realize the how weak language is when you're trying to tell somebody who's in the situation that his family's in how you feel. It's one of the times when you realize that words are not any like a kiss is more articulate or eloquent than anything that you say. And so I wrote this song thinking about that quite a long time ago, and I'm going to send this out to Leroy White's family, an absolutely great human being. If you had the pleasure of knowing him, your life was blessed, and I mean that. Like, there's not going to be another Leroy White for 10,000 years. Like they only once in a while do you get this. So this is called Great Big Heart, and I'm thinking a lot of positive thoughts for him and his family here. Sometimes the wind comes and blows someone you love away, and I go to that gathering and I ask if your family is okay. Stand in the line in that place, and I study the pain on your face. I don't have the answer, I don't have the cure for your pain, but I've got this it just keeps getting stronger each time it gets knocked to the ground. It's been good to me. Please take this little piece. I'm sure it will keep you going till your broken heart comes around. Oh, how I would love to build you a castle with words. A castle of all the most beautiful words in the world. But in all situations like this, a touch on the cheek and a kiss will say so much more than an eloquent castle of words. And I've got this great big heart. It's been through an awful lot, but it just keeps getting stronger each time it gets knocked to the ground. It's been good to me. Please take this little piece. I'm sure it will keep you going till your broken heart comes around. Oh, your friends are all here to be near you and your family. We mean it when we say we're here if there is something that you need. We will visit you and we will phone. But the truth is, you do this alone. So please take this gift, this kiss, this touch on the cheek. And I've got this great big heart. It's been through an awful lot, but it just keeps getting stronger each time it gets knocked to the ground. It's been good to me. Please take this little piece. I'm sure it will keep you going till your broken heart comes around. It will keep you going till your broken heart comes around.
That's
Beautiful, John.
Dawn. That's
Really
beautiful.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, everybody.
Tribute.
Going out to Deb and all the family of Leroy White out there in this world while he's still here with us. Leroy actually was the minister, or what, like the person who performed the wedding service at my son's wedding. So we're connected deeply, and we love them. So there we go. Now that's done. Let's do something. Let's fool around now. So I'm gonna see. Let me look. I'm gonna look in the gallery view here to see if my if my Kentucky folks are still here. Let's see. I don't see them. Oh, there they are. So I'm gonna play this for my friend. I think her name is Philia. She's a lovely girl from Kentucky. There she is, right there, and you can see, if you go on gallery view, you can see her. and I was asking her parents what they wanted to hear, but Philia said that she wanted to hear this song, and I don't think they knew it. And so when I played it, it was a great revelation to them about how their daughter saw them and their life together. So this song is called "Psycho Mom and Dad." We're sending this out to Kentucky. For my friend Philia out there. I wrote this when my kids were little, and my wife and I realized that we used to be like these peace-loving hippie, Ram Dassy, can't we all just get along people? And we realized a little while into having two kids that we were screaming a lot for some reason. Mama come home from work today, I tell you what she saw. Every toy that me and my sister owned was laying out on the floor, and the table was covered with peanut butter and half-eaten sandwiches. There was cereal bowls, an open jar of mayo, and an empty can of tuna fish. Dad was eating a pizza, he had 2 or 3 slices gone. The sports page was laying on the living room floor, and the football game was on. When Ma tripped over my toy transformer, that pushed her over the edge. And that's when we knew she was turning into Psycho Mom again. She's screaming, I'm fed up, I'm finished, I'm through, I've had it up to here with all of you, I'm running away. Leaving today, I'm gonna join the carnival. But first I'm selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, used to be calm, picking up after you animals, turn me into Psycho Mom. I always say that. I used to scream that, but now I'm old and I'm afraid I'll hurt myself. Ma was working and Dad was babysitting us the other night. Me and my brother started yelling at each other and we got into a fight. We were punching, kicking, scratching, pinching, pulling each other's hair. Just about the time we knocked the TV over, we saw Dad standing there. His blood was bubbling, he didn't say nothing, he stood there at the door. Me and my brother took a look at each other and we looked up from the floor. And Dad started to scream like a wild banshee and started pulling up his own hair. And that's when we knew he was psycho too, and we better get out of there. He's screaming, I'm fed up, I'm finished, I'm through, I've had it up to here with all of you, I'm running away. Leaving today, I'm gonna join the carnival. But first I'm selling you kids for $1 a pound to a couple of cannibals. I used to be normal, never got mad. Babysitting you animals turn me into Psycho Dad. Don't worry, there's more, Philia. For an hour, our mother and our father were trying to keep us in bed, and me and my sister, we never miss a chance to play with their heads. We were using every excuse in the book to try to keep from going to sleep. She said, I'm thirsty. I said, I gotta pee. She said, I forgot to brush my teeth. We just got done with that classic one, Upon This Fateful Night, where we say it's too dark and you turn on the light and then you cry cause the light's too bright. And my eyes bugged out and Dad's head exploded and they both climbed up the wall. You should thank the Lord that you were not born to Psycho Dad and Mom. They're screaming, we're fed up, finished, through. We've had it up to here with all of you, we're running away. We're leaving today, gonna join the carnival. But first selling you kids for a penny a pound to anybody that will take you. We used to be normal. You remember, don't you, dear? It was 1974. We were hitchhiking around America trying to find ourselves. No, really, people used to do that. We were peace-loving creatures. We believed in being calm and thoughtful, meditation, yoga. We never got mad. Raising you animals turned us into Psycho Mom and Dad. Sending that out to Kentucky right there.
Woo!
Oh, Don, that's awesome.
All right, Don.
Way to go, Dan. Good one.
Yeah.
All right. So now I'm going to tell a story from my friend from. Did you want to say something, Amy?
Oh, just that song is so relatable.
I know. You know, you're really good people. If somebody caught you at that wrong moment, they wouldn't think so, would they? Well, I'm happy to do that for you guys there. My kids all turned up okay so far, so I think we did something right. So I'm gonna tell. So there's a man, Mr. Conley. He was a Lynn guy. Now he's in Chicago, and I think he's still here. You're here, right, Chicago guy?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
So he asked me to tell this story, and I'm not sure if Tim Mason's here. I see that his Shan is here. But anyway, this is a story that relates to him. So many of you have heard me talk about. So first of all, when I'm telling a story, I really like to get as many people unmuted as is reasonable. So if you can unmute yourselves, and just because with a story, I like to hear the interactions, you know. So. And don't be worried if the technicians will mute you if it gets too noisy. So this story goes back to the old Vienna coffee house. So just briefly before I tell this story, let me tell you, Tim Mason ran the old Vienna coffee house, and it was in Westboro, Massachusetts. And in a lot of ways, it was the epicenter of my career. I went there as an open mic, and Tim just kept hiring me, and until I had enough of an audience to start making a living out of it. And you know, there was other people that did it, but Tim really did it. So this is a story about the first time I was ever there. So I worked all day. I worked all day, and at that time I was an alarm installer, so I was sweaty and hot and covered with insulation. So I drove through Boston traffic north to my house, washed up, threw some food in my mouth, and then drove through brutal traffic to the old Vienna, which would have been, I guess, 45 minutes with no traffic, but I don't know, maybe a month with traffic, something like that, right? You know,
That's about it.
Cheryl's here. She lives out that way. You know what I'm talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I go
Yes.
through the tunnel and through downtown Boston, and just, you know, all those buildings in Boston like this, right? At the time I was going through, all the people were coming down out of them and into their cars, right? You know, and we were all trying to get to the old Vienna, I guess. So I had heard about this place. I heard it was good. Now at the time I had no career, no nothing. I just had some songs, and so I drove all the way out there, got there, and I signed up for the open mic, and it was really popular open mic. Like lots of people went there, and so because I got there late, because I had to drive through all that traffic, I was like the last person on the list. And by the time I got on there was nobody in the place. Like I'm sure this isn't true. Tim could verify this for me, but in my mind, I could see like in my memory, I see people putting chairs on tables as I'm singing, right? You know what I mean? Right? I'm sure it wasn't that way, but that's how it felt, right? So I drove all the way out there. I played to nobody. I drove all the way back. By the time I got home, it was midnight, and I had to get up at 5 in the morning and go work really hard. So, like I drove back, and I just said, that place sucks. I don't know what anyone's bragging about that place for, the old Vienna. I am never going back to that place. That's what I was saying to myself. So the next day, I get a call from Tim Mason, who books the room, and he says, I saw your set. I was the one person that I was putting chairs on the table while you were playing. It sounds better that way. I was the guy putting chairs on the table while you were playing last night. And I was locking the door and putting this stuff away. And I liked what you're doing, and I want to give you an opening spot. I had not opened for anybody, and he offered me an opening spot for somebody that I idolized, and I couldn't believe it. It was for Taj Mahal. So those of you that don't know, Taj Mahal, Springfield, Massachusetts, but he's like a bona fide country blues guy, and I had grown up listening to him, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought it was one of my friends like pulling a trick on me, right? And so when he said, I want to have you open for Taj Mahal, and what I said was, you know, I really love your venue. To tell you how much I love the old Greenback Coffee House. And while I was driving home last night, saying, "Boy, this is the best place in the world." Really. And so, you know, this was a long time ago, and the difference between the very first time you open for somebody and when you're like now, I would say no sometimes to open for somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like I've done it a lot, but I can't overemphasize how excited I was. I was like, Taj Mahal, I'm open for Taj Mahal, I'm open for Taj. I'm dancing around the kitchen, right? And so I'm home by myself. This is after work. My wife is out. She's working too, and I see the landlord. In the driveway. Now, my wife had been doing battle with the landlord, you know, to get him to fix plumbing and all that stuff. Like the house was, you know, needed work, right? And she was unhappy with the fact that she had a whole list of things she wanted him to do, and he was not responding in a way that she thought he should, right? But I didn't care. I saw him. I'm like, I'm opening for Taj Mahal. He's like, Taj Mahal, you're opening for Taj Mahal. We're dancing. We're doing Taj Mahal. John's opening for Taj Mahal. We're in the driveway singing, and my wife pulls up, right? And this actually happened, right? And she's out in the car, and she's looking at us with that look, you know, like what? And we're like, Taj Mahal, Taj Mahal. And she looks at the building and she looks at the landlord and she goes, Taj Mahal, my ass. This place is a dump. Plumbing doesn't work. Doors don't close. You people are out of your mind. You walk back into the house, laughing and laughing. All right, so that's it. Taj Mahal, my ass. An epic story that hasn't seen the light of day in 25 years. Thanks for asking for it, Mr. Connolly in Chicago.
All right, good.
Woo!
Oh man.
All right.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
And how was the show, Don?
I never looked back from it, to be honest with you.
No.
Tim Mason brought me from being an open micer to selling the room out in I think about a year by letting me open for other people and stealing some of their audience. And you know, I don't want to talk about this too much. It's insider stuff, I guess, but the other people who had seen me, they could see that the audience liked me, but they were lots of times musicians themselves, and they could also tell that I wasn't a great singer or player. But Tim, because he was a poet, responded to the fact that the audience liked me. He wasn't burdened with prerequisites on how a person should sing and play. I don't think, or maybe he was, but anyway, he in the after party we'll get him to talk about that. But
he came right up to the mic now. Look at that.
Well, I'll keep the show moving, but I will bring this up to him later. But thank you. But anyway, it was a great, you know, I was able to build my audience off of other people's audiences, and it was good. It was good, and I'm grateful to it. And that story wound up on my first album, you know, and it's been out there since 1991, and you know, who knew? Who knew people still wanted to hear it? All right, so now I'm gonna take care of my one last request. Oh, so on another platform, I'm not sure if she's here or not, but she comes every week. Her name is Sandy or Sandra, and she lives in New Hampshire. So I'm speaking to you now, wherever you are on Facebook if you're here. I want to thank you for the support, Sandra, and if you don't want to come over here where I can look at you in Zoom or whatever, I want to do something for you because you contribute every week and the support is good. So if there's a song you want to hear or a story you want me to tell, put it in your chat if you're on Facebook or YouTube, and Brandon or Eric will get it to me during the intermission, and I'll do my best to do it for you, just to show my appreciation for Sandra from New Hampshire. Okay, now this is a song requested by the dad of Ophelia's dad. So this is a song. I'm a working class guy. My dad belonged to a union. I don't understand why people don't like unions. I don't get it. You know, we were able to live good. My dad didn't have a college education because he belonged to a union, and I have belonged to several in my life. Well, two, two and a half unions in my life, and I always have fought for them and felt like working people need to organize. So so this is a song that I wrote in the Pete Seeger sort of style, and I was lucky enough to play it at his 100th birthday in Beacon, New York, which, you know, he was passed away then, but it would have been his 100th birthday in the town that he lived in for his family and his friends. And as a result of that, the Chapin sisters have been playing it, and that's, let's see, so Harry Chapin's brother's daughters, I guess is what they are, right? They're called the Chapin sisters, and they do a nice version of it. And I also was asked to send a video of it to this year's Clearwater Festival, which is the festival they have in New York, because the Clearwater was the name of the boat that Pete Seeger built to go up and down the Hudson to convince people to clean it. So this is called One Little Drop, and I'm sending this out to Kentucky. So 2 things to Kentucky today. That's it. Nothing else going to Kentucky after this. All the work gets done in the valley. All the money rains down on the mountain top. When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, it's only one little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill.
Water and poem.
So hard to divide us with a steady stream of lies. Cause if we ever stop fighting with each other, we might start asking each other why. If all the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop? One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Keep on buying those politicians and those TV newsmen too. Make them say every day that my problem is my neighbor, when I know that my problem is you. Just keep lying about corporate tax breaks, how the jobs are gonna trickle down. But beware of the day when the people say that they are sick of being trickled on. One little drop to feed the family, one little drop to pay the medical bill, one little drop to pay the mortgage to the banker who sold it to the man at the top of the hill. Enjoy your view of the valley from that house on top of the hill. Right now the giant is sleeping. That doesn't mean that it always will. Cause when the sleeping giant starts moving, it is impossible to stop every flood that ever washed a city away. You know it started with a little drop. One little drop will start an ocean. One little drop will start a wave. One little drop will start a flood that's coming to wash the gilded city away. If all of the work gets done in the valley, why does all the money rain down on the mountain top? When the money trickles down to the people in the valley, why is it just a little drop?
Beautiful, Don.
All right.
Great.
Send that out to Kentucky.
Oh,
For all the coal miners and everybody who's worked so hard to organize over the years and the great history they have there. All right. Neil, do you want to hear anything, buddy? Anything I can play for you?
Absolutely anything you've ever written, whether it's a story or a song.
All right, that's good. That's the best answer ever. All right. So, those of you that are watching on other platforms, if you want to come over here and participate in the interactive part of this, if you look in your chat, so it's either now or sometime shortly, there will be access information for Zoom, and you're welcome to come over here, or you can remain anonymous over there. You know, witness protection and all that stuff. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to play probably another song, I guess, and then we're going to have our Poets Corner. So I've been introducing poetry and storytelling to my events because my world is a mix of all these things, and I have so many storytellers and poets in my world that I want you to know about. And tonight it's going to be a dear friend of mine, Cheryl Peralta, and we'll get her to do some reading for us a little bit before, right around 8 or just before 8. Then we'll take a short break. If you can donate, that would be cool. We'll buy groceries with it, but don't worry about it if you can't. And then I'll come back and play till about 20 past, and then we'll have our after party if you want to hang around. So let's see. I've got $300 bills that are all brand new. They are begging me to think of something cool to do. How about I'll take you downtown and spend them all on you? I don't want to stay home tonight. We have worked so hard for so many years, built a home, a life, a family, and 2 careers. Saved our money for the future. Now the future's here. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home. Can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There's so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Michael, Johnny, Richard, Ruthie, and Joan all had bouts with cancer last year, you know. If cancer was a man, I would punch him in the throat. I don't want to stay home tonight. 'Cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home again tonight. Well, I know we can't party like we did before. Can't stay out till 4 in the morning no more. But the house is paid off and the kids are all grown. What the hell have we been working for? Let's take a nap. Take our inhalers. Take a multivitamin. And then go out to hear some music with all of our friends who didn't die from the way we used to party back then. I don't want to stay home tonight. 'Cause time isn't sentimental, it doesn't seem to care about your plans or your hopes and dreams. It just keeps track of your minutes and wipes the slate clean. I don't want to stay home tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home again tonight. I can't stay home, can't stay home. I can't. I need you and me. How it used to be every week on Friday night. There is so much history that only we can see. Can't stay home. Can't stay home. I can't stay home again tonight.
Yo, Don. Love it.
Thank you. All right, so it looks like I'm a little ahead of schedule. So let me play one more song, then we'll get our poet going. Um, um, this is for all the old hippies in the crowd, and I can see you. I can see you. I can smell the patchouli all the way through Zoom. See, so this is for the old hippies in the crowd out there, and for young people who need to be reminded that they didn't miss anything back in the day. That their world is, there's cool stuff in their world. They got to go find it. So this is called Woodstock Memories. Shandy's grandma went to Woodstock back in 1969. She keeps her ticket stub in a chunk of mud at her house in a little shrine. She was always the girl in the hippie dress twirling at the shows by the Grateful Dead. If you ask her about it, man, you better sit down. Grandma will talk the ears right off your head. If you get her talking about the Grateful Dead, the Summer of Love, or the Kool-Aid acid test. Jenny was always in the glory when she could hear the stories from her grandma's hippie friends about peace and love, taking care of one another, how great it all was back then. And at night she would dream of being on the bus with Keezy, seeing Jimmy in 69. But when she wasn't dreaming, she always had the feeling that somehow she'd been born in the wrong time. You should have been 20 in 1969. All the gray-haired hippies say that all the time. And the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then. It's gonna take a big leap of faith if you really want to find your tribe. And those were the first words Jenny heard in a song that she found online. And that summer she drove all the way to Minnesota to the Shangri-La Festival. And there they all were, all the people like her, who grew up believing that they were all alone. They said, hey girl, welcome home. Because the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are driving down the road to Minnesota, having all kinds of fun singing. Jimmy and Jerry are dead and buried, and they're never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then. Jenny's grandma went to Woodstock in 1969. And since then she believed there was never going to be a better time, and that's alright. But if you don't take your big leap of faith and get out there and find your scene, it will pass you by while you are trying to find your grandma's long gone Woodstock memories. Her Woodstock memories. While the cool grandchildren of the cool young women who danced in the Woodstock mud are living on the beach in Montezuma, Costa Rica, having all kinds of fun singing. There's only 1 minute, if you're not living in it, it's never coming back again. I love you, Grandma, but Baba Ram Dass never said, be there then.
Yeah, done.
All right, done.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah, I was thinking of John Smith when I played that. I think he told me he works at the Esalen Institute, which is in Big Sur, as far as I can recall. And that is a Ram Dassi place, if there ever was one. There you go. So
It is. It is.
That's for sure. I've been there.
Me too.
that's right. Hot tubs overlooking the ocean and patchouli for miles. All right, here we go, boys and girls. I'm going to introduce. Now, this is really part of the fun that I've had in the last year is to bring my friends here so that, first of all, so that I can see them and talk to them because I'm isolated in the undisclosed location here, but also so that I can share them in my world with all of you. This is a nice group that comes every week, and there's a group here, but all on the other platforms, there's lots of people out there, and I'm so grateful to you for coming. And I just think that my circle is an interesting circle. It's got all kinds of creative, interesting people in it. So we established the Poets Corner. So I'm going to introduce you to my friend Cheryl Peralt, who I met quite a long time ago, and she has she blossomed from when I first met her to being somebody that, first of all, became just an extraordinary writer and poet. She was good at the beginning of it, but she just really became what I consider world class at it. But also, part that endears her to me is that she has created opportunities through a cable television program and other platforms for, I would say, thousands of people, certainly many hundreds of people, to be able to express themselves and to find their voice in story, song, and poetry. And that's a noble endeavor in my world. And so I'm delighted to have her here. So those of you that are unmuted, or those of you that want to unmute, I want you to give a nice round of applause to her and make her feel welcome, please. Cheryl.
Yay!
All right, Cheryl.
I hear a little dog out there too. It's a pleasure to be here. And Don White, thank you so much for inviting me to share a poem, to be part of Poets Corner. I have to say, I do everything I love to do with you at the beginning of it as a mentor, guiding and directing me. So thank you, Don.
You're welcome, Cheryl.
The poem I brought was inspired by being introduced to someone in my town as she's the queen of poetry, referring to me. And I wondered, what did she mean? How do I take that? And so I wrote, the queen of poetry. Occasionally, I have been referred to as the queen of poetry. I'm not quite sure how to take this, as we don't have queens in this country. I wouldn't mind being called writer of poetry or imbiber of poetry or lover of reading and writing poetry, or simply just a poet. Those are true words without any scepters or crowns attached, because I'm not sure I feel like royalty around poetry ever. Or like I have some aristocratic dominion over words and life. It's more like I've been fortunate to have poetry with me since I was a girl growing up in a town where I was scraping dimes off the sidewalk and calling it a good day. Holding fiercely onto things in the playground like popsicles I saved for, or seesaws kids tried to slam me off of. But I never let go. I'd just say no. And so I wrote. Facing home where there were two parents loving me, but fighting each other over the dinner table daily. My father also at war with his job, but going back day after day because that's what fathers did to keep the food on the table. My mother working nurse night shift, rarely complaining, but her eyes always tired despite drinking cup after cup of coffee. And I'd write words of celebration whenever she'd make time to bake us Betty Crocker brownies like it was a 4th of July fireworks exciting. And so I wrote. Having fun riding in the open back of our old red family pickup truck, learning how to fish for pickerel, being thrilled when the bobber would pull, learning how to skeet shoot with my first fella in the deep woods, sneaking our first kiss, learning how to stick shift drive with my first car, dad revamped from the junkyard, little blue Spitfire with a white racing stripe down the middle. Driving to high school, no one had to know the floorboards were almost rusted through. And so I wrote. Later, meeting my husband after falling down a flight of stairs, laughing, bearing babies with him there, quiet and stalwart, next to the zany, joking obstetrician who made us laugh until we cried when my firstborn was shooting out like a rocket. My second one taking her time, cord under her arm, scaring some other non-laughing doctor out of her on-call malaise of eye rolling at me. And so I wrote. Losing dear friends to nerve death and cell growth and cancer and cancer and cancer, and the car that hit the black ice and then the tree. And not wanting to teach my children about life and loss and threat and cost, but doing it, but feeling loved, but sharing love, but celebrating this one life. Tell me, is this glamorous? Is this all very queenly? To me, it feels mostly human, and I feel like I am living and learning in poetry every day. That I can fall down a flight of stairs and get up smiling to write about it. That I can get so cold or scared and start shaking like a startled rattlesnake and still feel someone's arm draw me in to keep me warm, keep me calm, or get me warm. That I can cry because I love and care deeply. And I can write it down and share it out with someone who just might say, hey, I just felt like that yesterday. This is why I write. It saves me and it saves this world just a little, I like to think. And if this makes me a queen, well then so be it. Now, tell me your royal story. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Cheryl. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheryl, that was awesome. You were raising the property value here pretty significant. I've heard you read a lot, and I heard that thing quite a long time ago, or at least the part where you repeat the cancer, and cancer and cancer and cancer, and that has never left me. It seemed so powerful to me when I first heard it, because that's how it feels. Like you lose people to this, to that, and then this thing over and over and over again. That's just a tremendous thing to put into the world. I thank you so much. If you'll hang around, we'll get you back later to do another piece. But let's everybody thank my friend Cheryl now, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take a short break. This is not an intermission. It's just, you can think of it as a pass in the hat. I'm going to go splash some water on my face and come back and play till probably 20 past or thereabouts, maybe 25 past, depending on how I feel. Then we'll have our after party. But as I say every week, if you're always welcome where I am, whether you have money or if you don't. And that, like, I'm starting to get back out in the world now. I have some gigs booked for the summer, outside things and different things. So I can see that we're going to be face to face here, unless things spin backwards dramatically. But at that point, if you don't never have to feel like you're not welcome where I am if you don't have any money. I can't promise I'll get you in depending on how many people, whether there's room or not. But it's always worth dropping me a note and seeing, if there's a space, I'll get you in. I have been without money more than with it. But if you're doing okay and you can drop a few bucks into the hat, PayPal or Venmo, or we'll buy groceries with it. That's what'll happen. I'll go to the grocery store and spend your money. And some of you that donate every week, I think I'm gonna take a shelf in my cabinets and put your name on it, like the Tommy and Marlene ramen noodle shelf, and like that, right? So that you can have a place of esteem in our home here. And again, and you can mail me some. There's a mailing address there too, so that works too if you can't figure out Venmo and PayPal and all that stuff. So I'll be back in 3 minutes, and then and we'll continue from there. So thank you, and we'll see you in just a minute or two. Hi everybody. You just go like this if you can hear me, so I can know that you're working. All right, there you go. All right. So let me play a couple, then we'll get to our after party. And we have some community stuff going. In the 18, 19, 20, 30, 43 years that we have been wed, I wondered if you ever heard a word I said, till I said pass that remote control over here, and you told me to blow it out my ear. I love you, you're a sassy brat, you make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half, let me grow old with my sassy brat. When my fans call up and say that I'm great, you tell them that that is a huge mistake, that if they had to live with me they would understand what a big pain in the ass I am. I love you, you sassy brat, you make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half, let me grow old with my sassy brat. There are men that like women who they can dominate, to bring them breakfast in bed and always tell them that they're great. Well, my sassy lady never does that for me, but at least the life with her is definitely not boring. She says if you want me to believe that you're great, do a couple loads of laundry around here someday. Hey pal, it's only because you're still kinda cute that I haven't already gotten rid of you. I love you, you're a sassy brat, you make me mad and you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half, let me grow old with my sassy brat. You say the kids have both gone to the show. How about a little quickie before they come home? And I say, hey, I suppose you think you're really slick, the way that you keep emphasizing little and quick. I'm not that sure I love you, you're a sassy brat, you hurt my big fat ego and you make me mad. Please don't cut our time in half, let me grow old with my sassy brat. Sassy bratty lady been a hang around here, driving me crazy. 43 years, if I could afford to see a psychiatrist, I'd ask him why the hell do I like being treated like this. We were in bed but we were still awake. You said I really love you in this life we've made. I said, hey, can I quote you on what you just said? You told me if I did you'd punch me in the head. I love you, you sassy brat, you hurt, you make me mad, you make me laugh. God, please don't cut our time in half, let me grow old with my sassy brat. I hope it's not too much to ask, let me grow older with my sassy brat.
Woo!
Oh, done. All right.
Very good. Woo!
I have to tell you that I'm working on my book. I'm writing another book. I swore I'd never write another book, but now I'm doing it, and I had like a nerd fest with my editor today. Like him and I are two like he's the only other person I know that cares about like semicolons and stuff like that. Like we get all hot and bothered over where to place a semicolon, you know. So we were doing that today, and I was so jazzed up about it, and I'm excited. And it's mostly done. There's a bunch of short stories in it. There's different things. I was thinking about calling this book "Stories I Couldn't Tell Till My Parents Died." That seems a little harsh, actually. But so there's a bunch of stories in it. Some
That'd be a great name.
you know, I might do it. But this last one, I'm finally decided to write about hitchhiking. So my wife and I hitchhiked for 3 years. Like most people that I know, I'm realizing hitchhiked to California and came back or something. They did it a little bit, or they went back and forth to work. But we did it as a vocation. Like we just got hopelessly addicted to hitchhiking. And as the decades have gone by, I'm realizing now that some of these stories are pretty good. They really capture a moment in time, and so I'm doing that, and so because of that, let's see, Eric, I'm gonna play Two Vagabonds. This is a song that I wrote when we came off the road, and I was trying to figure out how to have a boss. Like it was a new concept for me. I had been 3 years, well, 3 out of 5 years of just going wherever I wanted, deciding what to do depending on how the day was, you know what I mean? Like how the weather was or what I wanted to do. Go someplace, meet some hippies, get sick of the hippies, go somewhere else. You know, it was just, like, it was like a deep, profound experience with freedom, and I'm writing about it now. And this is a song that I wrote when we came off the road and we're trying to squeeze all that freedom down into raising kids and being responsible. I can remember the first time I had a job, and I realized that I had to do what this guy in this suit coat was telling me. Like I had like a crisis. Like I had a crisis. I'm like, really? Like you just say something and I have to do it? What is this about? Like what? You know. But I had to adapt and do it all. So here we go. Two vagabonds in disguise. I'll do one more after this, and then we'll call my part of this over. Didn't I know you in 74? You were 18 and out of control, hitchhiking far and wide for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road. All day long you would walk, hiking boots, Birkenstocks. You lived on black beans and rice. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can be seen in the eyes of a wild waitress with 2 kids at her side. And didn't I know you in 74? You were wild, you were out of your mind. Around Dallas and Allen Watts, all night in truck stops, your poetry on highway signs. The road was your teacher, then sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can be seen in the eyes of a watchman with 2 kids at his side. When it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep, you watch the kids. No time, you're ironing your uniform. Midnight, return, leave the engine on a kiss. Now hug at the door. A long time since 74. I left a note for you, a few things we need to do. It's hanging up on the wall. It says power bill must be paid, both the kids have been bathed. Your brother from Florida called. And around it goes, where it goes, no one knows. Put your feet up for a while. There is wine in the fridge, I'm late, give me a kiss. You know, in that slow-moving smile, I still see that vagabond child. And didn't I know you in 74? You were wild, you're out of control, hitchhiking for 10 months at a time, sleeping by the side of the road. Off-road was your teacher, then sleeping on beaches and reaching for things in the sky. The wind in your hair, my friend, the freedom you knew back then still can be seen in the eyes of two vagabonds in disguise. And when it's midnight, I work the graveyard shift. Daylight, I sleep, you watch the kids. Noontime, you are ironing your uniform. Midnight, return, leave the engine on a kiss, a hug and a sigh. Two vagabonds in disguise.
Love it, Don.
Yeah.
You young hippie, you.
Man, I'm telling you. Like that was taken in Texas, 1975. I saw on one of the other platforms somebody I went to school with, Ruth Stone, is watching, and I just wanted to play that for her. That's what I did right after high school. Just took off and did that, and you know, when I got back, I thought I had evolved, but really, there were points where I felt like I gave everybody else my age a 3-year economic head start. Anyway.
Hey, Don. I just wanted to let you know, Sandra Madruga on YouTube requested "I'm from Lynn."
All right, so that's where we're gonna end. So Sandra, thank you for the support and for coming, and you know, Pablo, we figure out how to use Zoom sometime so I can say hello in person to you and thank you. But yeah, we'll end this up with "I'm from Lynn." This is a song I wrote in the 70s. I wish it still didn't mean something, but it still means something. I'm still here in Lynn. And that's what this last part of this book is about how, what I'm interested in writing about is how I wanted to be like a hippie so bad. And I saw them on TV in the 60s. I was probably 13 or so. And they were peace and love. And everybody in my town, Lynn, is this factory town, right? Everybody with long hair was a drug addict. Like there was no peace and love happening in my town. There was violence and, you know, people drooling on the sidewalk and all that stuff. I'm like, where are these people? You know? And so finally when I got out there hitchhiking in the world and I met, you know, Grateful Dead heads and all this stuff, I never really could be one of them because I had grown up a different way. I love them and I liked I'm glad that the world had real, truly peace-minded people in it. But because of the life that I grew up with, I always was worried about them, that somebody would rip them off or hit them in the head and take their money, because that was my life experience, you know. So I'm having a lot of fun exploring that. So thank you, Sandy from New Hampshire, for the support and for asking for this song. So again, I'll play this song here and we'll take just a short break. If you can donate, that's great. Thanks to everybody who has. And then we'll start our after party. So tonight in the after party, Al has Cheryl, we're going to get Cheryl back to do another poem. John Smith, who I haven't seen for, I want to say since 2011 or something like that. And John Forster, a person that if you don't know him, I can't wait to share him with you. He's coming to us from New York. So here we go. I'm from Lynn. What can I say? A song that I wrote in the 70s, and somehow I can still sing it with conviction. Here we go. And thank you for asking for this. Those of you that don't live around here, let me just give you a little briefing. Lynn is the factory town with all the problems. Swampscott, Marblehead, they come up in this song. Those are surrounding towns where the rich people live, and sometimes, unfortunately, they have to drive through and wave at us on their way to better places. When you write a song about Lynn, it's important to use a 3-chord primal rock and roll progression. That's to stimulate the latent holograms in the Zoom meeting. I was born in the city of Lynn, home of the first turbine engine. And as if that wasn't enough, it's also the home of marshmallow fluff. You can travel the whole country, you'll never find a bigger fluff factory. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick like I'm from Nahant. I'm the son of a 30-year GE man. Don't be staring at me that way. I am from Lynn, what can I say? I used to hang around in Barry Park. That's illegal after it gets dark. I would stand on the bleachers where things got smoked and beer was chug-a-lug, bottles broke. Later in the evening when the police come, 27 juveniles are on the run. Juveniles are running everywhere you see. They're jumping over fences and climbing in trees, but Don White is too loaded to get away. His name is in the paper on the next day. His mother and his father, they can't believe he would publicly humiliate the family. I gotta tell you, that whole verse was a lot funnier to me before I had teenagers of my own. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick, that's what I said. I'm not from Swampscott or Marblehead. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? Now on the corner of every street, somebody's cooking something greasy to eat. Deep fat is frying everywhere you look. The town is bound for the record books. It's a million sub shops, open all night long, a socio-intestinal phenomenon. Again, I still think that's the best line I've ever written. I pinnacled as a songwriter in 1978. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn eat this way. There's no room in my stomach for French cuisine. Give me a bag of cheese curls and a submarine. Julia, child, get out of my face. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? That's how you know when a song's been around too long, when it actually has dead people in it. I left Lynn 10 years ago. I didn't know where I was gonna go. 10 of my friends were leaning up against a bar and grill. 10 years later, they're leaning there still. Half of my friends who are not on the street are dead in jail or annoying me. And I'm from Lynn, what can I say? People from Lynn act this way. I don't talk slick, that's what I said. They won't even let me into Marblehead. They're afraid I'll steal something, and I have, and I might do it again. Don't be staring at me that way. I'm from Lynn, what can I say? Another Thursday night. Here we go.
Right on!
All right.
Another Thursday night, Dawn White section in the bucket. Successful night in quarantine, semi-quarantine. All right, 2 minutes. I'll be back. If you can throw a few bucks in the grocery bill, that's great. And then if you want to hang out for our after party, this is what we're doing here. In case if you're new to this thing, is that we're simulating what we lost. All of us musicians, we would have hung around after the gig. Hung around, played music, talked, lied about stuff, done all that stuff. And so now we're using technology to sort of simulate that while we're in the COVID world, And so for me, man, it just means everything to me to be able to bring people that I respect and like and admire into this thing, so we can talk and chat. So this thing will run, if you're watching time, because gotta get to bed early. It'd be maybe 9:30 East Coast time or something like that in the vicinity. I would do this for about an hour. So thank you everybody. And I'll
The party's awesome.
thank you. All right, I'll see you in just 2 minutes. All right, here we are, back again. So let me look at you. So those of you on the other platforms, if you want to come over here to Zoom and hang out with us, you're welcome to. But you can stay over there anonymously if you like as well. Thank you everybody for being here. Let's see who we've got. Oh, look at everybody. So I see Michigan Oli, nice to see you. Welcome. And Jennifer, hi Jennifer, nice to see you, and everybody. So so I'm gonna start with with Al. So Al, get ready. Let me introduce you. So this is a gentleman who's coming to us from California. He's a wonderful songwriter, and he's got some wonderful serious tunes, but he's got a great sense of humor too. He can, choose to do whatever he wants here. But I'm delighted to have California as well represented here tonight, actually. So please make a nice round of applause for the first time with us here, Mr. Al Has.
Thank you, guys. And thank you, Don. Gosh, it's what a treat to be here with you all. Don, the last time you were with us here in California virtually was my birthday party back in August, and you entertained all of my friends and family, and we had a wonderful time. And anyway, so listen, I'd like to do a tune that, because most of you don't know me, we'll get this out of the way. It's the story of my life. It'll take about 3.5 minutes. It is a song called Did I Miss the Bus? And it goes kind of like this. Okay. Monday morning, first day of school. Waiting for the bus, I gotta find something to do. Tossing the rocks at the telephone pole, kicking a can through an imaginary goal, watching ants crawl into their hole, when suddenly it occurs to me. Did I miss the bus? Has it come and gone? Was that the one I was supposed to be on? I was looking left, it was on the right. Is that my bus fading out of sight? Oh, summer jobs, they're hard to find, especially when you've got so little time. Today I'm gonna see the Giants play. Tomorrow it's a movie in the middle of the day. The beach, a concert, sailing in the bay. And suddenly it dawns on me. Did I miss that bus? Has it come and gone? A summer job was what I should have been focused on. I was looking left, it was on the right. My summer job went sailing out of sight. Oh, medical school, what a crazy idea. You gotta study hard, or it's sorry, we'll see ya. So I play guitar in the dorm room hall, learn to juggle while passing the ball, paint a mural on the bedroom wall, and suddenly it dawns on me. Did I miss that bus? Has it come and gone? Was that the career path I should have been focused on? I was looking left, it was on the right. Is that my med school fading out of sight? Then for oh so many years I was good, catching every bus that I thought I should. But I can't say I was having fun, always working on the run, making sure it all gets done. Now I figured something out I want to share with everyone. You gotta miss the bus from time to time. Let it go, you know it ain't no crime. Don't wring your hands, don't fret and fuss, 'cause looking back, the best of times I had was when I missed the bus.
Woo!
Beautiful,
Thanks,
Al.
Al.
Really nice.
Really great, Al.
Wow.
There you
Thanks,
go. That's
Al.
my story. I'm sticking to it.
Al, that was really lovely. That's a really nice tune. It's got such a nice feel to it. So I assume you're gonna hang around with us. We'll go around a few times. When we get around the second time, we'll chat a little bit. Is that okay with you?
Wonderful.
All right, one more time for Mr. Al Haas.
Hey, beautiful, Al.
All right, so now the first of my two John guests here today, I'm going to have John Smith come out now. And John, last I knew, was in Wisconsin. I don't even know where he's at now, but here, let me just tell you before I get John Smith in here. My wife doesn't come to my concerts. She, I don't go to her job, and she doesn't come to mine. That's how this works, right? But I've had occasion to do some really interesting gigs, and one of them was with John Smith. The first time I met him, I think, and it was took a bunch of fans and a bunch of people, and I did concerts for a week, or we performed with a group of people on a cruise ship going to the Hawaiian Islands. And I have to tell you that my wife found a tremendously deep appreciation for my music prior to that. She wanted to come to every one of those concerts. It was amazing, really. I want to hear all your new songs, and so the Hawaiian Islands made her a big fan of me. And so that's where I first met John. He runs, I think he still does, runs the industry tours. Stop me, correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, which is a tour we did twice in Ireland with my fans, where it's a music tour by Tom Piggott, who I met back then. So I have a kind of interesting long history with this man, and he's a lovely songwriter and just a real nice man. And so I'm delighted that he's with us today. So please, a nice welcome for John Smith.
Yay, John.
Yeah. Thanks, Don. Al, I love that song. It's one of my favorite songs of yours, and it's great. So anyway, yeah. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I do. I live in Wisconsin here, and yeah, I love these gigs where you just have to do 2 or 3 songs. This suits me really well. But yeah, I was thinking, well, what shall I play first? And me and Al have both been taking a really fun songwriting class the last couple months with a great songwriter that you might have met, Don, in Ireland, John Spillane, when you were on.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does these Tuesdays with John Spillane kind of thing, and very, very fun. And just hearing Al talk about where he's from, and that great song you finished up with about where you grew up and stuff, that sense of place. So anyway, this is a song that comes from, I'm in the wrong key, I won't be able to sing it there. Yeah, but about my little town where I live at in Wisconsin here. So I'll just sing it, we can talk later. If I were a painter true, I'd paint a picture postcard of you, nestled along the river bend, my tried and true familiar friend. And if I were a singer clear, I'd raise a melody for all to hear. The swans and swallows would all come round to Trempealeau, my little town. Trempealeau, Trempealeau, my jewel along this winding river road, up to the from the banks of the mighty Mississippi, up to the bluff top rocky ridge. I'm proud to call you home, my home sweet Trempealeau. And if I were a weaver fair, I'd weave a tapestry so fine and rare, a quilt of oak and cedar hues, shining brilliant in the morning dew. And if I were a poet divine, from the eyes of God these lines I'd write. I'm delighted with my work of art below. Put a frame around her little Trempealeau, 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 my jewel along this winding river road, from the banks of the mighty Mississippi up to the limestone bluff top ridge. I'm proud to call you home, my home sweet Trempealeau. Trempealeau, oh Trempealeau, you know me well as good friends go. My deepest secrets I've shared with you, whispered them all upon your streets and avenues. So let the seasons come and go, from summer lilies to winter snow. Here I'll stay till I take my leave. May my spirit soar upon an eagle's wings over Trempealeau, Trempealeau, my jewel along this winding river road, from the banks of the mighty Mississippi up to the limestone bluff top ridge. I'm proud to call you home, my home sweet Trempealeau, 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 Trempealeau.
Woo!
Oh,
That was
John
beautiful,
Smith, that was
John.
beautiful, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you,
Gorgeous.
John.
Thanks, you guys.
Beautiful singing, beautiful song.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Your songs have a way of just pulling me right into them. They have their own, I don't know, like their own gravitational pull, kind of. So that was just lovely. We'll chat the next time through. One more time for John Smith, everybody.
Oh, John Smith. Perfect. Great.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome, John. Some, this is so much fun for me. I'm so happy. All right, so I want to introduce you to somebody that I know. So there used to let's see, I think for 14 years, starting in the early 90s, I was involved in this thing called the Festival of Funny Songwriters. It was Rick LaMacchia, who recently died, actually, I think from COVID this year. So I'm sorry to report that if you didn't know. But he was kind of like Tim Mason in my world, where he put me in a big theater when nobody else was doing it, and I built such an audience out of it. It was a 1,000-seat theater, and I think for the last 10 or 12 years I closed that show, and he would bring in all these people who had great senses of humor, and one of the stellar ones over the years, who probably did it 3 or 4 times, was this gentleman that I'm going to introduce you to now. He's a remarkable man. His body of work is tremendous. He does all sorts of things. We'll get him to talk about it later, but just want to get right to it and introduce you to somebody that I have a lot of respect for, and I'm so delighted that he's here. So this is John Forster. Please make him feel welcome.
John, yay.
Thank you so much, Don. I remember those concerts in Cambridge. They were great. And Rick, I didn't know that he died, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I remember that he used to work it out so that your song about Lynn would butt up against my song about Marion.
Right, right.
And Triple O should be in there, should have been in there too. I'd like to do, just to start off with a brand new song.
Okay.
It's a collaboration with my friends Hillary Rollins and Tom Tost for a project that we've been working on for the past few months that has come out of the pandemic. It's based on Boccaccio's collection of stories called The Decameron. And for those of you who haven't read The Decameron, and frankly, nobody has read The Decameron, it is, what happens is the plague hits the city of Florence in the year 1348, and it's bad. And 10 friends decide that they're going to get out of town and go up to a villa outside of town and just to get away from the plague. And to entertain themselves, they tell each other stories. And those stories that they tell become this collection, the Decameron. So we thought, why don't we do the same thing with songs? We'll get 10 songwriter friends and we'll go to a Zoom villa outside of wherever, and we'll tell each other story songs. So that's what we put together, and we've just finished the script. And this is a song that Hillary and Tom and I wrote for it. I'm going to maybe have to read the lyric a little bit because this is the first time that I've done it in front of an audience. So let's see what happens. My parents tried to raise me pantheistically. A little this, a little that. But realistically, it's hard when you're a child to understand it all. The boils, the toils, the suffering, and that God planned it all. So wasn't I delighted when my father said one day, the thrust of all religion can be summed up in this way. Sheep go baa, cows go moo. Life just sucks. Well, boo the fuck who. Boo hoo, boo the fuck who. You're gonna suffer, kid, whatever you do. Expect to get it right up the wazoo. Life just sucks, so boo the fuck who. In college, I was baffled by philosophy. If God gave man free will, then who's the boss of me? I couldn't get ennui or angst or enemy until I met that cute TA who made a man of me. In bed she read me Nietzsche, Camus, and Kierkegaard, but I finally understood it when she put it like a Hallmark card. God is dead, violets are blue. You are confused, well, boo the fuck who. Boo hoo, boo the fuck who. You're waiting for Godot and his little dog too. And now it's finally dawning on you. Dog is dead, well, boo the fuck who. Now my kids have kids, they're all I care about. But current thought and modern trends, I'm unaware about. Their parents sigh and say what an old fool I am. I even read them Dr. Seuss, that's how old school I am. Last night we turned to Horton, and they hung on every word as we plumbed the implications of the who that Horton heard. When you're small, sad but true, no one cares, well, boo the fuck who. Boo hoo, boo the fuck who. Knock knock, who's there? Thing one and thing two. I hate to tell you, you don't run the zoo until you do. It's boo the fuck, who the fuck knew it would be wall to wall. Boo the fuck who. Go for a walk and soon you're knee deep in dog do. Each day is one more turn of the screw. Well, boo the fuck me and boo the fuck you. Is it karma? Is it pharma? Is it catch 22? No, it's reality. You're smelling there all over your shoe. 'Cause life just sucks. Boo the fuck who?
Good job.
All right, John. That's a new one, huh?
Oh.
Philosophy.
Yeah,
Rick Lamacchia would be proud this moment, wouldn't he? Oh, man.
That's great. Reality on your shoe. That's great.
Oh, just absolutely wonderful, John. So you hang around, and when we come around again, we'll talk. So this next round here, we're gonna have Al and John. Then I'm gonna insert Cheryl in, and then we'll do John, and then John Forster again. Then we'll go around one time again after that. So one more time for John Forster.
All right, John.
Brilliant.
All right, Al. Let's talk a little bit. So. How long have you been songwriting? Let's start with that.
Well, let's see. I started in my 50s. I had tried as a teenager, as many of us do, and it really, really sucked. And I spared the world and myself the misery. And but then when I turned 50, it's like, I don't know, I saw people my age who were, they were singing songs that they'd written. They only had 3 chords in them. They were sounding pretty good. I thought I'd give another go at it, and man, it was medicine.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hooked. I was probably 52 or 53 when I started, and I'm damn near 70. And John Smith really moved me along in this process. It was at one of the after parties. It was the first time I'd ever heard John Smith. It was at a house concert, and he was one of the few people who said, "Hey, anyone wants to play a song, come on in the back." And so we had what we call a song circle. It's one of the first of many, many song circles I've shared with John Smith, and just grateful to the max for that.
Well, I would recommend to anybody, and I've done this many times, said this many times, like everyone should have a creative outlet and not be judgmental about what they're doing. Like, don't just do it because it makes your life better. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes your life better to be able to express yourself however you do it, paint, poetry, whatever. And so congratulations on you. Congratulations to you for starting out. So before I get you to do another song, I want you to tell me about the art that's behind you. I'm really intrigued.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is very important. There's my dear wife, Katie Has there. My wife is an artist. I met her when I was in my 4th year of medical school, and I was desperate to find a wife because if I didn't find her in the 4th year of medical school, I was liable to marry a nurse, and I was just determined not to marry a nurse. And so I walked into Cost Plus, is a store in San Francisco, and I found her, and I got her, and married her, and she went to art school while I did my allergy training, and I have her to thank for all these.
It's lovely work.
fabulous
Really lovely work, Katie. Congratulations. That's lovely, and it's a fantastic background for you to play your music to. So, all right. So, why don't you play another tune for us, Al?
All right. Well, listen. This is inspired by Don White, who at our birthday party, one of the parting phrases he gave us all was, he said, the pandemic sucks. I almost said the damn-demic. The pandemic sucks, but I won't let it steal my joy. And I love that line. I hadn't heard it before. I should have heard it before. But anyway, I wrote this song about reading the newspaper in the last year has been difficult. And so I want to tell you all kind of how I've managed, and I apologize. I'm going to play a ukulele because I want to make it as happy as possible. So it goes like this. Wednesday in the paper, there's a murder. Thursday, a tornado on TV. Friday, it's all about trade with China. Saturday, someone rolled their SUV. Finally, on Sunday, there's some comic relief when candidates say what they think we want to hear. But Monday, it starts all over, and I can't read the news without a beer. So Tuesday is my avoid the news day. I hope the world survives without me. I whistle a tune, I look up at the moon, but Tuesday I'm a Newsday absentee. Oh, I care deeply that the polar caps are melting, and a self-driving car ran someone down. And the measles, remember the measles, they're making a comeback. And fire has destroyed another town. Oh, any other day I might shed a tear or two, or curse under my breath at what my fellow humans do. But Tuesday, that's the one day, might try and have some fun day. I end up with a different point of view, 'cause Tuesday is my avoid the news day. I hope the world can make it without me. I play cards, pet a cat, I look around at where I'm at, but Tuesday I'm a Newsday absentee. Well, now sometimes I feel guilty, missing out on all the pain, oblivious to everybody's blues. Now karma, it's a bitch, I hope I don't drive into a ditch and wind up on the Wednesday evening news. But Tuesday is my avoid the news day. The world will have to make it without me, 'cause Tuesday is my beg to be excused day. Tuesday I'm a Newsday absentee. There you go.
All right, John.
Yeah. Great.
Wonderful. But that's just beautifully put together and nicely done. I should have waited till I was 50 before I started writing. All right, one more time for Al, please, everybody.
Oh,
Good job. Oh, yeah, that was good.
All right, John Smith. Let's talk to John Smith a little bit. So, John grew up in, I'm going to assume, a quiet place, going by your song there, like a country style place in Wisconsin. Is that fair?
Yeah, I grew up in Iowa, just 3 or 4 hours down the river, very small town, rural kind of thing, and spent a lot of years. I went to college out in California, and then I tried to come back to the Midwest and kind of did a real hippie thing for a while, and then but I really missed music. Went back to California for a while and kind of the LA and Laguna Beach area, and really immersed myself around some great songwriters and at their feet, sort of speak. And then I ended up in Colorado, kind of a compromise between the two. And but eventually got back to Wisconsin, where I live now, and we love it. We're here to stay.
Well, that's certainly a nice place, lovely place, and maybe I'll get out there sometime. I think I have something in Minnesota in 2022, so I'll drive.
Yeah.
And I go get to you. So just before we get you to do another tune, what about an early influence? Like what lit a fire on you when you were young that made you think maybe I could do this? Or is that a fair question?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I still kind of ask it sometimes. Because I'll meet other people and it's real obvious what their influences were or something. But I guess growing up in Iowa, it was just. It's such a homogenized kind of place. wholesome, I mean, so to speak, but also not very diverse. So you kind of, well, whatever was on the AM radio and stuff was your world and stuff, and there weren't many folk singers around. But from a tiny, really small age, I was one of those people that sang all the time. Like my mother would have to like get me out of the rocking chair and to stop singing Johnny and making up songs and get to school. So I just sang and sang and sang and sang and sang, and didn't realize that you could really have a career out of it. But in college in Southern California, I started playing bars and stuff, and people have always kind of liked my voice, and I'd play some John Prine and Eagles, Dylan, that kind of stuff that was still pretty broad. It wasn't like I found some little hidden niche. And so then it's just been a journey in the folk world. When I really landed on that, like the Kerrville Folk Festival and playing festivals and stuff, that was a really big thing for me to realize that there's a place where really telling your truth, really deeply, there's an audience for that, and you don't have to just sing pop love songs and so forth. And
well, that's a good answer to that question, John. So John Smith and Don White, we have the two most common names in the world, don't we?
Yep.
So here, before I get you to sing another song, I have to tell you my Don White story. I think you more than anyone you'll appreciate this. So there's a guy in Ohio named Don White who has the same birthday as me, and he's a bad boy. Like, he's like the bad Don White, and they keep telling me I can't renew my license until I show up at court in Ohio, right? So bad Don White is causing me trouble. And then I went to get my license done recently, and they said, just so you know, bad Don White has died. And I'm like, Don White is dead. Long live Don White. Me and John Smith or Don White, man, there's a billion of us out there. All right, so play a tune for us if you don't mind, John. I'm so glad that you're here.
Yeah, I got a lot of those John Smith stories. I actually, in the last handful of years, there's a wonderful songwriter named John Smith from England. And he's kind of somewhat new on the folk scene, but he's really good. And we were getting each other's emails and stuff. And I actually showed up at a gig in Iowa, and there's a poster for my gig, but it's him on the poster.
There's a Don White in Oklahoma who plays with Eric Clapton, and he was in a band with J.J. Cale. I was getting sex with mixed things on him, right? It'd be like $400 for Don White in Oklahoma and 87 cents for Don White in Massachusetts.
Oh my God.
Play the tune, brother.
Okay, I will. So here's I'm kind of like the other John there. I love playing brand new songs, and I love it on these Zoom and Facebook concerts here that we can use our words, and I especially have to when it's a new song. And but I'm always looking for guinea pigs, and I heard that Don has the best guinea pigs out there. So here's a new one, guys. On the road to Los Alamos, cobalt skies, a rising moon, echoes of Cole Capelli's flute, voices ride the wind that blows on the road to Los Alamos. On the road to Los Alamos, hearts go walking where the air is sweet. Magpies dance to an ancient melody. There you will find time waltzes slow on the road to Los Alamos. On the road, on the lonely road to Los Alamos. New Mexico, where love lost goes I walk along with those, for I am the ghost on the road to Los Alamos. On the road to Los Alamos, in the distance, mission bells toll, prayers offered up for loved ones' souls. The other side is always close here on the road to Los Alamos. On the road, on the lonely road to Los Alamos, New Mexico, where love lost goes. I walk along with those, for I am the ghost on the road to Los Alamos. On the road to Los Alamos, I feel their sorrow and I hear their songs. Owls and coyotes join the chorus and sing along. The night is young and there are miles to go on the road to Los Alamos. I am the ghost on the road to Los Alamos.
Very nice.
Ole!
Woo! Very nice, Johnny.
Yeah, just
Very nice.
it's something so different for me. I've never written anything even close to that, but it's another good reason for everybody for taking fun little songwriting classes. I teach a ton, but these last couple months I've just been a student, and really fun, huh? Al and I both take it, and wonderful guy John Spillane. So, but he gave us a prompt, just to say a little bit. He gave us the prompt to, find a line or something, and then work that line and repeat it and write to it and so forth. And a great friend of ours that's also in the class had a song. If I could write a love song, he really struggles with that. And then it was, if I could write a love song, blah, blah, blah. If I could, and I was like, I love that. And then a lady, I'm in another Zoom class learning how to watercolor. You can see a picture behind me. And a lady had a new painting called The Road to Los Alamos. And I thought, Jesus, that's a fucking song. So I said, can I steal that? She said, no problem. So
Beautiful. One more time for John Smith, everybody.
yeah.
All right, John Smith. This is beautiful.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Dad.
Oh, my friend.
That's wonderful. So we'll go around one more time. So before we get back to John Forster, I want to bring our poet back. So please welcome our friend Cheryl Peralta back again.
Hey, Cheryl.
Cheryl,
Yeah.
Cheryl, let you and I just talk for a minute. When I first met you, I've been to teach quite a bit, or have over the years, and help people out with inserting humor into projects and did all kinds of different things that I do, and I like doing it. But when I first met Cheryl, she was pretty determined to be a comedian, and I was looking at her material, and it was funny, but there was so much poetry in it. I'm like, this is probably bad financial advice, but I think you should be a poet. The only people that make less money than folk singers is poets, I think, right? And so, and she just launched from there. Like, she just embraced it. I don't think at that time, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Cheryl, that you even knew there was a scene, like a poetry world, or to speak of a performing one. But man, that was, I don't know how long ago that was, maybe 20 years ago, but you are the queen of poetry now, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you. And I have enjoyed coming into the performing arts world with connections to storytelling poetry, folk music, a different kind of orientation than some of my poet friends who went to school maybe for poetry. I love being connected to all the different types of art and weaving it together, collaborating with musicians and storytellers.
What is the name of the CD that you made with Steve Rapson?
Well, we made two,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is Roar.
Mm-hmm. Those are they available? If somebody wrote to you, could they pick one of those up or?
Probably Steve Rapson has more at this point, and a few are on Amazon probably.
These are really elegant records. It's Steve Rapson, a fantastic fingerstyle, sort of classical jazz guitar player, writing music to fit Cheryl's poetry. They're absolutely stunning recording. I would recommend them.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have some more words for us?
All right. I wrote this this past year titled Connection. I am the multitude of stars. I am the multitude of all beings on this planet that I feel these days and love so much, like a last hurrah inside of me, outside of me. The deep, raw beauty and all the offerings of this earth given so generously. And yet often we don't even see or know how very related we are to every single particle. Did I really know when I was younger, like I know now, realizing with open eyes how short and precious this life here is? I think of the conversation I had with my 14-year-old niece this week. All of her mind and heart seemed wired into the technology of her phone while we were talking. She asks, "Why is the earth so important? Why do we have to be so good to each other all of the time?" I think back when I was in my 50s, just waking up to this answer of how very interconnected we really are on this planet Earth, while beside my wise ancient dog, Junie, taking a siesta in the deep green grass of the backyard. I think of the news of drilling for oil or the animals we are losing or all the toxicity from our wars and division having impact on the world's layers of ground and atmosphere, like Dr. Emoto's decomposing snowflakes. I think of when I was chanting Om Mani Padme Hum in meditation group last night and feeling like I was a tiny fleck of star in the galaxy, being there amidst billions and beyond, just resting in place and loving everything around me, just giving light the best that I can. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl.
That's beautiful, Cheryl. Thanks.
Very nice.
Yeah, Cheryl, thank you so much. Beautiful. Really beautiful. Wow.
Woo!
Cheryl, I'm so glad to know you and so glad to be your friend. And I hope we don't go long periods of time without seeing each other. So one more time for my friend Cheryl Perot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. So John Forster, let's talk a little bit. Your style is so unique. If I was going to speculate at what your influences were, I would guess that they were from all over the place, like cabaret and like jazz, I guess. Or like, do you want to just enlighten me a little bit on like the circuitous road you took to being to where you are?
They're really all over the place. I mean, I think the main thing is I was from the age of 7, I was a choir boy, in an Episcopal church. My parents were Unitarians, but we were mercenaries for the Episcopals. Just sitting there week after week doing anthems and hymns, I learned how to read music then. So classical music was important to me. But then Duke Ellington was really important to me, and Bob Dylan's first albums, like the freewheeling Bob Dylan, just hit me like a ton of bricks, and West Side Story, when that movie came out, that was also. I mean, I think a lot of people went into theater because of West Side Story. They have a lot to answer to, those guys.
What about the influences for humor?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The first influences in the field of humor.
Oh, well, Tom Lehrer.
Tom Lehrer, well, yeah. He feels like he's hovering over your cubicle right now.
He's the guy, he continues to be the man. And I discovered his little 10-inch record, I think when I was about 7, and I didn't understand most of it, but I knew that it was great. And so I memorized it, and
Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, that one? Did you hear me?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Poisoning Pigeons in the Park, that one?
Yeah, no, it's the one before that. It's Be Prepared. Don't solicit for your sister unless you get a good percentage of her price.
He was from Cambridge, right? He was from here, right?
Yeah, he was. I mean, that's where he lived.
Well,
he still lives there, as far as I know.
Well, I think he just, didn't he just give his work away now? Didn't he open it up to public domain? I think I read that. Yeah. So,
did he?
I think so. I mean, I could have dreamed that maybe.
He said that his That Was the Year That Was, or That Was the Week That Was album eventually reached gold status. And it was the longest period of time to reach gold status of any record. That record set a record. It took him like 45 years to become a gold record.
There's a black and white concert of his from Denmark or something that's really wonderful. I assume you've seen it. Yeah.
It is. It's great. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, John, will you play another tune for us?
Sure. Let me do a recent tune that really, it doesn't need much introduction except to say that I play myself and I play my grandmother. And so I'm not really the age to, I mean, the self would be 2 generations down from where I am now, but you can, look around that. Okay. I'd been through a bad divorce. I was trying to regroup. So I went to see my grandma for her wisdom and her chicken soup. We had a heart-to-heart. I poured out all my fears. I said, Grandma, you and Grandpa, you've been married 60 years. What's your secret? What have I been doing wrong? And Grandma's reply is the chorus of this song. The thing you need for marriage to succeed is someone who can stand you. Not looks or smarts or outside body parts, just someone who can stand you. When courting is over, we all drop the disguise, and our partners realize their partner is no prize. So beg the gods to help you beat the odds, and be grateful if they land you someone who can stand you. But Grandma, I replied, it's out of my control. I fall for who I fall for, and they fall for me, heart and soul. It's late we discover our love is mixed with hate, and I should have seen it coming, but by then it's way too late. It's a bummer, Grandma, love is truly blind. It is, dear, said Grandma, but try to keep in mind your true romance will only stand a chance with someone who can stand you. The hell you face will seem a gentler place with someone who can stand you. We all hit rough patches when things go really, really dark, with blame and shame and snark. But you will keep the spark if fickle fate should smile, and on that desert isle she's kind enough to strand you with someone who can stand you. The only trick to making marriage stick is making sure you pick someone who can stand you. There. Don't we feel better now?
All right, John.
Yeah.
Grandma.
Little Mr. Rogery.
I got a wise grandpa.
I got a woman who fits that description right outside that door right there. One more time for John Forster. Beautiful.
Hey, John. Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. So this is we're gonna run probably closer to a little past 9:30, but this is our lightning round. That doesn't mean you have to do a short song. It means we're not gonna chat anymore. So Al, on your mark, get set, go songwriter, go.
Here we go. There's a house on a cliff at the edge of the world, where waves crash the rocks with a splash and a swirl. Stately and grand with Victorian flair, she watches for storms through the salty sea air. Surely they knew one day she'd collapse. They say it adds to her beauty. Well, perhaps. That's the place I always go when I go to San Francisco. There's a trail by her side, just round the bend, rugged and handsome, the trail of Land's End. He stretches his arm o'er the seventh sad sea, through wind-swept branches of cypress trees. He calls to the cliff house, makes a vow, I'll always be with you forever, somehow. That's the place I always go when I go to San Francisco. Anything set at the ocean's edge is a fool to say forever. Surely the trail of old Land's End, it should know better. The Cliff House, it was built 1864, an elegant dame that the people adored. 30 years later, she burned to the ground. They built her back better once the money was found. In 1907, it happened again. And as they rebuilt her, you could hear the refrain. She called his name. This time she made the vow, I'll always be with you forever, somehow. Oh, anything, let me get the words out here. Anything set at the ocean's edge is a fool to say forever. Surely a house at the edge of a cliff, it should know better. But together they stay to this very day, through fire and stormy weather. And that's the place I always go when I go to San Francisco.
Oh, Al, that was
Al,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I wrote that one.
Yeah.
I wrote that one.
Yeah. Nice, Al.
That was beautiful,
Songwriting.
Al.
The songwriting session that John was in, this guy in Ireland. If you want salvation and everlasting joy, join one of John Smith's songwriting workshops. That's all I have to say. And thank you so much for having me.
Let's hear it one more time for Al. Beautifully done.
Yeah. Woo-woo.
Very nice, Al. Very nice.
So all these artists have Bandcamp and websites. You can pick up their material. You can find out where they're playing. So support these artists. We all lost our way to make a living, and a little bit goes a long way. So thank you, Al. So now moving right along here to John Smith. On your mark, get set, go, Wisconsin songwriter, go.
Am I unmuted here? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, hold on. I knew something was wrong. I got to put my headphones back in. Hold on. Nah. I don't need the headphones. Yeah. Wrote this right before the election when things were about to explode. My name is America. I live between two oceans blue, and as nations go, I'm a child who is sadly now torn in two. And I was born out of a dream. For that dream I'm on my knees tonight. For they're shouting on the left and right. I could use some help to mend this great divide. Help me heal these wounds I feel. Please help me heal from these wounds I feel. It's not the first time I've been torn. The bloody red coat shot and drove the natives from their homes. Then the flood of immigrants all came round in hopes of 40 acres, a mule and plow, and the right to speak their truth out loud. Oh, help me heal these wounds I feel. Please help me heal from these wounds I feel. Then it was the blue and gray, the north and south spilling blood over slavery, leaving a scar centuries deep. Now they're still marching up and down my streets. My name is America. I'm wounded, but I'm not down yet. I am still the great experiment. I was born from hope and tears and sweat, and I hold of that hope with every breath. Oh, help me heal these wounds I feel. Please help me heal from these wounds I feel. My name is America.
So beautiful, John.
Gorgeous.
So beautiful.
Thank you, John. Beautiful.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, Let the healing keep it going. Yeah.
John Smith, you know, if you're looking for him, you put the two words together, right? Like you don't, like if you just make it one word, John Smith.
Well, yeah, if you go to johnsmithmusic.com, all one word, John Smith Music, or Facebook is Facebook.com/John Smith Music.
And John, you do live streams. I mean, that's what made me think of you. I saw a lovely one with you and your friend there. Do you have one of those coming up? Or
Yeah, February, May 9th, Sunday, May 9th, it looks like. So it'll be on my website and on my Facebook. I'll post it. But yeah, stop by and say hi, everybody. And my old concerts are on there if you want to watch what we do for our Facebook things. But thank you, Don, very much.
You're welcome, John. You put such wonderful energy into this world. I'm glad to know you. One more time for John Smith, everybody.
Oh, it's beautiful. See you again.
Okay, John Forster from New York City, on your mark, get set, go, piano, guitar guy, go.
Okay. Thank you, Don, for asking me. Don drags me out into the middle of the infobahn and proves to me that I'm not going to get hit, and I really appreciate that. This song is another collaboration. I wrote it with my friends Tom Chapin and Michael Mark a few years back. I went to a college reunion and heard an anecdote about from a guy named Rabbi Nachman, who was a Lubavitcher from, I think, the 1700s. Where am I? Am I sent? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So I had it in mind to make a song out of this, and Tom and Michael and I sat down and did that very thing. I asked the wise man, "What is hell? What is hell?" And the wise man said, "Hell is to sit at a beautiful table, and on it a wonderful banquet is spread. Savory dishes, delicious aromas, and so much food the whole world could be fed. But your arms won't bend, no, your arms won't bend. And how can you eat when your arms won't bend? Hell is to sit amid plenty and go hungry, 'cause your arms won't bend." I asked the wise man, "What is heaven? What is heaven?" And the wise man said, "Heaven is to sit at the same perfect table that holds out the promise of eating your fill. Same savory dishes, same great aromas, same great abundance of food there, and still your arms won't bend. No, your arms won't bend. And how can you eat when your arms won't bend?" But in heaven they've learned how to feed one another and how to extend the hand of a friend. In heaven they share every platter. What's it matter if your arms won't bend? And our arms won't bend. No, our arms don't bend. Heaven is as simple as knowing, really knowing that our arms don't bend. Our arms don't bend.
Beautiful, John. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, John. Gee.
Thank you, Don. This has been really fun.
Yeah.
You know, give me a ring or like send me an email, and we'll get you so that you can you know, that the world can see more of you online. All right. One more time for John Forster.
Yeah, John, that was awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so this has been just a delight. You know, I can't explain to you all what this means to me to just feel like I'm with these people that I can't see in person, you know, these days. So it means a lot. I have a much better week as a result of all this. So let's have a big thank you for everybody who performed tonight. John Forster.
Yo, John.
John Smith.
Hey, John Smith.
Al Haz, and the lovely and talented Cheryl Perot.
Yeah, hey, Cheryl.
Don White.
And Don White. Thanks for doing this, Don.
You know,
Thank you, Don.
back on the road. You know,
So much for doing this.
I'm gonna do it no matter what. I'm gonna do it till it's just me and Sarah left here, and Neil and Tommy and you know the handful. So let me play this one to say goodbye to you. I've been thinking about my parents lately. They're gone. I think they would, you know, they'd be happy that we're all doing well. And this is a song that I played at both of their funerals. It's called Sense of Humor. I just want to tell you all that I'm glad. I appreciate the support, and I also appreciate the fact that I know that in your own way you're doing stuff out there that matters. You know, people who come into my world generally have hearts of gold, and that they spread kindness. You know, so on behalf of humanity, for whom I am the official spokesperson, I want to thank you for your kindnesses that you do out there in the world. And one of the ones I've been just reminding people about is the humble telephone. If you've got a friend that is alone, they probably weren't doing that good before COVID. If you call them, spend 20 minutes on the phone with them, you may be the only person they talk to in a month. And that's a small thing that you can do that is a huge thing. And so thanks for being kind out there in this world, and I can't wait to see you in person. If anybody's near Saratoga Springs, New York, or within driving distance, I am doing a in the building concert I let 30 people into it, and that's gonna be June 3rd, the first Thursday in June. So if you want to see happy Don White when he's in front of a real crowd, even 30 people, you want to be there. I have a lot of pent up entertainment in me, and it's gonna come out at the Cafe Lena in July. All right, so here you go. Sense of humor. Thanks everybody. All his children knew that he was dying when he asked them all to gather at his side. He spoke to them about the joyousness of a living from the perspective of someone about to die. My love for you is what I leave behind me. I see my love in everything you are. When I am gone and you want to find me, believe me, you won't need to look too far. I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. Take some time and contemplate the night sky, so vast beyond all you can comprehend. The magnitude of what is out around you can make your life seem small and insignificant. Then picture your heart if grown to its potential, wider than all you can ever dream, and deeper than the unfathomable heaven. And that's the way that my heart feels today to me. When you touch a person's heart with kindness, that heart opens up a room where you will stay. As your heart grows, I know that you will find this is the way that you can live beyond your days. And I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. There's really nothing more that I can say now. If you don't mind, I would like to be alone. I want to spend a short time now in prayer to thank God for all the love that I have known, and for all these hearts where my love has found a home. And I will be your sense of humor. I'll be your integrity. Each time you find the strength to persevere, right inside that strength is where I'll be. That's where you can always go to be with me.
Beautiful, Don. Thanks for a great night to everybody that played.
Thanks, Don. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great night all around.
What a great community you got.
Yeah, we're here every Thursday. Let people know about it. If they're feeling isolated or whatever, I will move mountains to make them feel better. You know?
That's wonderful. Beautiful.
All right, so here. Oh, right on. Who let the dogs out? All right, so we don't. One of the things we've learned doing this as long as we have is that if I end this meeting, like if I hit this button and I end the meeting, and what happens is the illusion of all of us being together is painfully and dramatically eliminated. All of a sudden, it's just a great big white screen for everybody, and just a great big white reminder of how alone we are in the world, right? And so we don't do that. We hang around and chat. We say goodbye one at a time, whatever. We make it more graceful and like that. So much love to you all. Those of you that come all the time, I couldn't love you any more than I do. Those of you that just here for the first time, come on back and see us. We're always celebrating community here. So goodbye. Just everybody goodbye. Oh, let's thank Brandon and Eric for doing the tech.
Yeah. Great job, guys. Great